Hi everybody, my name is Leela Monkey with Serenity Cards and Coaching. Welcome to my video today. I'm super excited to be celebrating World Card Making Day with you. And our topic today is recovery cards. A little bit about recovery cards. Recovery cards use a circle and triangle symbol, and that's what we're going to be using today. And recovery cards really help celebrate milestones in sobriety in the Alcoholics Anonymous program. And so this particular card is for a dear friend. So the 1992 that looks like an address is really the year that she got sober. So she's celebrating 30 years this year, and she just got a new puppy. So, and she loves the color purple. So this card is very, very much for my dear friend. And yeah, she's got 30 years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous, one day at a time, as they say. And so just a little bit about Alcoholics Anonymous. It has AA has known as AA. AA has one mission, and that is to help alcoholics who still suffer. And they do that one person working with another person, and they do that through, you might have heard of a 12-step program. And so the steps range all the way from, gosh, I have a problem with alcohol, all the way to, gosh, these are some people I've hurt, and accepting some spirituality into your life, all the way through to asking for forgiveness, forgiving others, and then just having a regular program on an ongoing basis then of being honest, open-minded, and willing to really just be your best, most connected person to your higher power. So my friend today, who's getting this card after 30 years, one day at a time, is one of the kindest, gentlest, most humble person who really, really thinks of others. And she's so peaceful. She's so playful. She just got a new puppy, and she's just a really, really beautiful person. And that came from a huge, huge transformation over the years, where before she did struggle and she was powerless over alcohol. And so Alcoholics Anonymous is a great program to help people struggling with alcoholism. And so we're going to make a card today that's a recovery card with a circle and a triangle. And then I've got a number of samples at the end of just different ways to, all different sizes, all different shapes, all different cards. So we're going to make this one card today, and we're featuring a few different products here. So we're featuring the Warm Welcome stamp set. Oh my goodness, bundle, actually, I should say, the Warm Welcome bundle. Oh my goodness, you talk about open, right? Open-minded. Anyway, I love this stamp set. It just came out, and in honor of World Card Making Day, it's a stamp set and a bundle. Now it's got a little kitty cat, but she just got a puppy. So I took the puppy from the Trees for Sale stamp set, which is in our catalog. And this little puppy, I just hand cut him. I know there were some dies. I don't have them. So I just fussy cut the puppy. And then the dies that came with the stamp set, these are the ones we used, the doorway and the flowers and the numbers. So I'll show you a little bit about that. The other products I used, I used painted texture to kind of give a stucco look. Embossing folder, I used the brick and mortar to give kind of the brick look, and then I used the timber to give the wood look. And I'll tell you, these textures really make the difference for giving the card just the definition that it has. So let's get straight to the making of the card then. And by the way, you can find more information on my website at leelamonkey.com. I actually, I'll have the instructions available, and I will have, you can sign up to get on my list. And I sell cards, actually. I sell recovery cards, and I often have articles about how to make them. And so you can find more information on my website. You can sign up for my email list there. So to make the card, I've taken some shortcuts already, so that you don't have to watch every single step. But of course, we have our Highland Heather base. I'm in the US, so this is going to be your 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5 and then score it 4.25. And then I've got an inside layer, just 1/4 inch in. That's so saffron. And I've already gone ahead and adhered that. Now I'll show you, I've got this stucco and for the wall, and I've got the bricks for the floor. And let me show you a little bit how I did that. So I'll put that off to the side. So for the stucco, you can see that I did just the lightest little brush of gray, and it's really just to give it, maybe it looks like it's a shadow, maybe it looks like it's a little painted look, but I'm going to go ahead and use Smoky Slate ink, and I'm going to use my blending brush, and I'm going to brush the heaviness off to the side, and I'm just going to kind of come in here and just do some brushing. Even that might be a little too dark, but I think it's going to be covered. So I just want to get some brushing here. I really just want kind of a light shadowy effect. I also want it on the bricks. I've already done a light layer on the bricks, and it's really just to give it a little interest and dimension and texture. So that's my brush and my Smoky Slate. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the stucco. Now this size is 1/4 inch in, so that would be 3 3/4. And then I think it's about 4 inches is what it is. So I, of course, embossed the whole thing, and then I just cut a little piece of it off. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. You know, you're going to see some of that gray, but it's really okay. It's just intended as being behind the scenes. So we've got that layer. And now let me talk about this. Again, I did some prep work ahead of time. So I rolled out the gray. This is basic gray brick. So I rolled out the basic gray brick, and I did a whole sheet of it, and then I cut off 1 inch. Then I rolled out basic black brick, and I cut off 1/4 inch, and I just glued the black to the gray. I really just wanted a little bit of maybe a board to show up there, or just some kind of visual interest. And then I put the cactus behind the scenes. Now this was from the, I wrote it down, and then of course, this is the potted succulent. So I rolled out the die from the potted succulent, and I really just cut off kind of the aloe vera part of it, right? I put it right there, and really how I want it to look is I'm gonna adhere it just right there. So let's go ahead and get that glued in. I don't want the plant to go too high. I've done quite a few different versions of this, and I've had plants too tall and plants too short and plants in the wrong place and doors opening weird, and I've done all kinds of things, but this is really, there's a few different layers to it, but we're gonna then get it so that it's just got the right, like the door opens, I don't know, it just has the right perspective, I guess I want to say. So I've got my plant right there, I've got that adhered right there, and that's perfect. Now let me show you the next. So what I did was I stamped the door stamp, and it comes as a whole thing, right? So this is the door stamp, and you would have that inside there. So there's a die cut you can use to cut out the inside of the door frame. That's what I did. Now I'm going to tell you a little tip, depending where you cut it. And then after I rolled it through the wood grain embossing folder, I'm finding that it's tearing just a little bit right down there. So I just used some of our little tear and tape just to kind of put those two pieces back together. But when I assemble this, what I want to do is I want to have my door frame kind of centered, and how I want it is there's lots of things going under and lots of things going over. So I want the door frame centered right about there. Now I'm not gluing anything yet. I'm placing it all first to make sure I have the elements placed where I want them. And so I know that I'm going to want that there. And then when that's good and secured, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Now this, you could do this background one of two ways. You could just adhere a piece of designer piece of paper all behind it, and you could do it that way, or you could use the rectangular die cut that comes with the door frame. I just chose to use the rectangular door frame, and this paper, this is basic gray cardstock, and this is from Forest Friends. It was just a nice saffron, so I put that there. I'm laying everything out before I adhere anything. And I have a little coloring tip about this, but I'm just laying it all the elements just to show you how it's going to go before we start to the gluing. You're going to want to, when you put the arm, you're going to want to put it under the frame. So you can see I've got some things going over, I've got some things going under, and so we really want to build the right construction here. So now that I see how I want it constructed, I'm going to take my hands off to the side because that'll be easy to pop in. I'm going to take my So Saffron layer off to the side. That'll be easy to pop in. And here's what I want to say. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the door frame down. I'm not going to glue this side yet because I'm going to want it to come forward. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue. And I like glue. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue, and I'm going to leave an opening like where I know I'm going to put the hands. So I'm pretty much going to put the hands anywhere from here to here. So I'm just going to kind of put glue down here. I'm going to put glue up here. I know I'm not going to be putting anything in up here. And then down below, I don't think I'm putting anything. So I'll put that down here. Oh, my little puppy's coming to visit me right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere all that because I know where I want it. And I'm going to go ahead and place it right here. And I'm not tucking it under the black, but I am making sure that it butts up right next against it. So now I've glued all of that down. And I've got my frame on the outside. That's great. So I can come in, and now that I like where it's placed, I can put some glue behind the door as well. And so I'm just going to put a little strip right there and press the door down, and there we have it. So that's that guy. And now I can put my designer series paper in. So I'll get that guy in here. Oh my goodness, I'm going to ignore it. My doggy is making noises out there. I don't know what he's getting into. All right, so.
Closing 2 windows.
Okay, thanks, honey. I'm recording a video. All right, so now I've got my designer series paper. So perfect. Now it's starting to look like a door, huh? So now let me just show you the final things here. I am going to color with my blends. I'm going to color my flowers. So I've got fresh freesia for the stripes, so I've done that. I'm going to do the flowers in fresh freesia and light Highland heather. So I've got, or no, this is dark Highland heather. So how I did the flowers was I colored them in light fresh freesia, kind of on half of it, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the small nib end, and I'm going to color in the flowers just a little bit of dark. And so I won't spend all my time here coloring all this here while you're watching, but I'm just, and I could come in with kind of the white blending brush if I wanted to after the fact and kind of blend the colors together. The other thing I did was I did the hand in one of our skin tones. You could take any of our skin tones. This particular one is 800. So I'm going to color in the hand in the SU 800 skin tone. And then, like I said, I did the leaves in, so this is Pear Pizzazz, this little cactus. So the leaves are a light old olive. And then I just want a little bit of a light crumb cake shading, just a little bit all along, kind of, let's pretend this is a newspaper. So just a little bit of shading of light crumb cake, just for a little bit of interest. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the arm in. And what I did for the arm was I just put a Stampin' Dimensional right on the big bouquet on the back. And then that's it. I didn't put any glue. I didn't anything. So then I came over here and I took a look at, so I know I can lift this up because I didn't glue it all the way under there. And so, you know what I wish I had, I didn't bring them over here, is those amazing tweezers, but I've got my take your pick tool. I'm going to lift up the arm underneath. So I'm going to get that like the arm's coming out. I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to put it at the right height. And I'm just going to pop the flowers right in the center there. All right, so that's all built. Now I'm going to put now this might look a little bit weird right here. It kind of looks like, wait, what is happening there? But very simply, I'm going to use my smaller Stampin' Dimensionals and put my pup on. Now, I did not have the die cuts for the pup. I did fussy cutting. So again, I stamped the pup. And then just a little tip about fussy cutting. When you fussy cut, you hold your scissors and you let the paper move. So I've got my scissors staying in one place and I'm just letting the paper move. So I'm just fussy cutting my puppy, and no one is going to look at how perfect this is die cut or fussy cut. No one is going to pay attention at all. They're going to just see this frolicking happy puppy. And my friend just got one, like just 8 weeks old. So how sweet is that? So I thought this was a perfect card for her. So I'm going to put my little Stampin' Dimensionals on this tiny little puppy body. I'm going to get him on. And then I'm going to show you a trick about placing the numbers and the circle and the triangle. So I got my little puppy, and the puppy works really perfectly just kind of right there, kind of leading your eye into the home and covering up the little plant. And so we're all like wanting to go right into the home. So it just works from a design perspective, covers up the plant, nice dimension. This could be a nice triangle when we get the rest of our elements on. So we're going to put that off to the side. And now we're going to do the address. And the address is, of course, 1992. Oh my goodness, I can't find my circle and triangle. That is hilarious. The whole point of this is the circle and triangle, and I just put it off to the side. Well, let's just focus on these numbers. So oh, here it is. All right, good. All right, so so this is the tip I want to share with you. First of all, this is a label, right? But I think it'll work perfect above the door frame just to kind of show the address. So, and a good way to put numbers, so you can roll these numbers out. These numbers were right on the die itself. I think they're awesome. So if you wanted to do, like if I wanted to do the number 30 for 30 years, I could have done that. If I want to do an address for 1992, I can do that. So that's what I'm going to do here. I actually took the 6 and the 9, so I only really had to roll through once. And how you can space it, you know how sometimes you'll like start on the left and then you'll be putting your numbers through and you go all the way and then it goes off and like everything's uneven. A way to get around that is you do your bookends first. So I do my 1 on one end, my 2 on the other end, and then I kind of build inwards. And glue is pretty amazing. So all I need is this tiny little dot right there. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's the tiniest little dot. And I meant to grab the tweezers. I've been using them and then I forgot. But those the tweezers that came in the embossing kit are pretty amazing. So I'm gonna put that like right about there. And it's okay if a little bit of glue shows. There is not much glue here at all. So we can come back in and erase it, or we can come back in with a paper towel. But the amazing thing about glue, liquid glue, is that you can go ahead and move stuff around if you need to. And it's a handmade card, so you want it with some perfection, but you also want it, like, I feel like a little bit of handmade is okay. So like little mistake or a little bit of like craftsmanship sewn in there. So now I've got my 1992 and I'm letting that dry. So I'm going to put that off to the side. So I'm going to put my dimensionals right here instead of on the back of that. Normally I would maybe let it dry, but I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. And I know because I've measured it already that the 1992 kind of fits off to the side, and then the circle and triangle fits to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put that 1992 right there. And then I'm going to take the circle and triangle. Now, here's the thing about a circle and triangle. This is an old Stampin' Up! Punch, the circle, and the triangle, that's our silver paper. You can just very easily just cut a triangle shape. I've already got a mini dimensional on the back of this, but I'm going to just put some glue to have it be secure as well. So then I used a mini glue dot to glue the triangle to the circle. But you could also, gosh, that feels like it's a little bit bigger. You know what? I might let's see, let's compare. Oh, you know what? I think I took a different label size. All right, well, there you have it. So there it is with the smaller label size. There it is with the larger label size. So this is our card. I came in and I added a little doorknob right there. And that was the red and green adhesive backed pearl. So I went in ahead and added the doorknob. And then I put a couple gems on the flowers. Those are 2123 in colored jewels, the fresh freesia. And there's our sweet recovery card for 1992. So I am super, super excited about that. Again, you can go to lilamonkey.com to get more information, a little bit more information about this card. And I actually have about 10 other samples that I'm going to show you using all different circle sizes, all of our different products. I sell these cards from time to time. I also give instruction and examples how to make these cards. So let's get a nice background for you to have a look at these. And so here's one. It's the gumball, and then it's the congratulations with the circle and triangle back there. Now that is retired Stampin' Up! Product, but super cute circle and triangle, and then may your day be filled with all the best things. So that's a congratulations. Here's one, and these were the Stampin' Up! Triangles. Anything is possible. So there's a beautiful way to do a recovery card. Here's with this product. This was a, oh my gosh, this was a beautiful product we had for a while. And so there's another way to do a circle and triangle. Big congratulations. Here's one with even different product. Look at all these kind of torn layers. They look like mountains. And so that's another circle and triangle. Anything is possible. And in fact, that's actually really, really true. All cards that you would buy come with they come nicely packaged like this and with a nice envelope. Here's a congrats, beautiful daffodil. Celebrate every beautiful thing. You are utterly awesome. Super fun to do the circle and triangle, working with these cute little otters, and then this frame as well. Congratulations. Here's another one with a little different color scheme. So there's our circle and triangle. And you are utterly awesome. Gratitude, aren't we always grateful? So here's a great one with gratitude. Celebrate the wonder of this day. And then look, different size circle and triangle. For the record, how fun is this one? For the record, perfect circle. And it's like a heart with a glimmer triangle in the middle. And then finally, for you sports fans out there, we've got this circle and triangle. So a great way to celebrate someone who's celebrating a milestone of 1 day, 30 days, 30 years, 30 minutes, like just really celebrating people. And so I hope that you look for more information at lilamonkey.com. Reach out one-on-one if you have any questions. I would love to connect with you. And here's our card we made today. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.